Oh, hey, sport. Dad's back from buying cigarettes from the store. Let's see if I still got it. Art is alive. So, greetings, salutations. Welcome back to the Art is Alive podcast. I'm your host with the most, who looks like a ghost, Chris, who has to take a piss. And I'm going to try and talk like a normal person, actually. But I'm very excited to be back recording this episode. I hope everyone's doing good. I've been pretty busy with the photography shenanigans and whatnot. If you see me glancing over at my phone, it's because I actually planned out an episode for once, and I have a script right here that I'm going to be following. So if you see me checking my phone, fuck it, it is what it is. By the way, do you guys like the red? I feel like it's giving villainous, nefarious even. So today I wanted to talk about the good shoots, the bad shoots, everything in between, a few takeaways I learned from them, and how I've dealt with imposter syndrome at times, because sometimes my life feels like a fucking movie. Bad shoot number 1. I was hired by this fella to take some photos of, and I have to be really careful with this, for a company at the convention center, for a conference. So the day comes around, and here I'm thinking, okay, I'll be second shooter. I'll follow him around. I'll make sure I'm his eyes where he can't see, so to speak. I pull up to the convention center bright and early. It's around 7 or 8 in the morning, and he texts me and says, "Hey, Chris, I got really fucking sick. So it's just going to be you today." At that time, I was a little more green. I didn't have a website. I had decent photos on my Instagram, but a lot of them were just of my friends fucking around the neighborhood. So I walk up to the client, introduce myself. He's very enthusiastic. He's like, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you." And he was very, very friendly and accommodating. And he showed me around his booth and introduced me to the team. But the conference hadn't started yet. We still had about 2 or 3 hours of downtime. And as time passes by, he asks me, where's so-and-so? And I look at him and I'm like, "Oh, so-and-so isn't coming. He unfortunately got sick, so I will be taking care of you today." And I shit you not, this was the fastest I had ever seen someone's mood shift. He looked at me like fucking deadpan, and he's like, "Son of a bitch." And he starts telling me like, "Oh, this is not a good look. This is not a good look, Chris." And we kind of, the conversation ends kind of in an awkward way. And I walk off and call the first shooter. And the first shooter is like, "Hey, their business is contacting me asking about you. Do you have anything you can show me? Do you have a website or anything I can let them know about your work?" And I'm like, "No." At that time, I didn't have a website. I didn't have anything to show other than my Instagram, which again had decent photos. They were very 2023 Chris coded. So more time passes. I go over and I start taking pictures of like the booth, people walking around. And then the main guy walks up to me and he says, "Chris, what are you doing? Like you're done. We don't require your services anymore." And in my head, I'm thinking, holy fuck, I'm actually getting fired on the spot from a gig. So I understand the client's frustration. I was not the one they specifically paid money for. So I just said, "Look, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I hope you have a great rest of your convention." And we shook hands and he said, "Hey, look, Chris, I don't know why you're apologizing. This is so-and-so's fuck up." And we just kind of left it at that. I left the convention feeling very defeated. I understand it wasn't directly at me. He wasn't cursing directly at me, but I still felt like I disappointed the client. And it was tough for me because that hadn't really happened at the time. So it was a big learning experience for all parties associated. And I will say the first shooter apologized for everything. He took care of me afterwards. So I don't want to really drag him through the dirt. He got sick. It is what it is. That was the first and only time I was ever fired on the spot for a gig. I was pretty shaken up about it. I called one of my friends and I was like, "Dog, I just got fired. What the fuck?" Because I take a lot of pride in delivering a good product. And in that moment, I couldn't. I had no legs to stand on. I had no ammunition to back myself, even though every part of me was wanting to say, "I'm him, bro. I'm great at this. I've done so many shoots." I had to conduct myself in a certain way not to make myself look like a dumbass. So it was a very big learning experience. And one of my key takeaways is book the shit yourself. Bad shoot number 2. And this is kind of an umbrella situation. I don't have the best luck with fucking drones. I do not own a drone for various reasons. So a previous coworker and I were assigned for a shoot out of state to handle audio and video. The shoot itself went great. We are heading back from the airport. We just got done with a long day of packing up the gear, traveling home, going through TSA or whatever, and we're getting our bags. And we're saying our goodbyes. We're like, "Oh, great job. I can't wait to sleep in my own bed tonight. I hope my mom makes this fucking soup I've been missing." And my coworker asks, "Oh, can I get the drone from your bag?" And I'm like, yeah. And I open my bag, and there's no fucking drone, but a piece of paper with bold red text that says, "TSA has seized your item." And I'm like, motherfucker. We just got back from all this fucking traveling, and now we get hit with this random event that our drone was fucking taken. So that was fun to navigate. I think my key takeaway with this story, so this wasn't really a specific instance that happened during a shoot, but this was the aftermath of. So this wasn't the instance of. So this didn't technically happen during a shoot, but this was the aftermath of a shoot where I just have really fucking bad luck with drones. So my key takeaway from that is all of the expensive shit, keep it on your personal item, or fuck it, just watch out for TSA, God damn it. Always double check your items to make sure they're pre-approved. My suspicion is that there was something with the lithium battery that they didn't like, or I don't know. I don't know if there's like different laws for drones in North Carolina, to be honest. But yeah, just be extra careful with your shit, especially when you're navigating other people's gear. So pivoting away from the bad shit, let's go to the goods. So photography and video and podcasting has allowed me to connect with a lot of the goods in life. Yes, I'll go with that, the goods. One of the instances I want to talk about is, again, more of an umbrella term, but the amount of times I've been able to reconnect with people that I haven't seen since elementary school. I don't think I've seen anyone from middle school yet. Neptune homies hit me up. High school people and people I went to college with. Even with Art is Alive, I've been able to reconnect with people I haven't seen in a while. But one of the instances I thought was really, really cool, I don't really talk about this too much, but I love wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan. I was actually reintroduced to it by my friend Matthew and Kalen, Dr. Williams. He sort of fanned the flames of my enjoyment for wrestling. And one of those shoots actually got me in the room with a fuck ton of WWE and WWE NXT wrestlers. It was the music video for Trick Williams. So shout out to Dr. Williams, PhD. He was the link between Trick Williams and recording here at Labs. And he had asked me, hey, Chris, do you want to help shoot a music video? And I thought, fuck yeah, let's do it. Trick showed up with his lady, Lash Legend, and 3 backup dancers for a diss track against Pete Dunne. And me and Kaylin were thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be chill. We're just gonna do a couple shots around town and all this. And Lash brings in a wagon of food, and there's like 4 boxes of pizza. And me and Kaylin are thinking, well, I'll speak for myself. I was thinking, is that all for us? Is that like one fucking pizza per person? I don't know if you've seen me. I'm kind of a slimmer gentleman. But as time went on and everyone was getting prepped and ready to start recording, another group of wrestlers comes in. And 2 more wrestlers come in. And it wasn't even wrestlers at this point. It was a group of kids and other influencers on social media, until it was finally like Labs was swamped with fucking NXT wrestlers and the influencers and the honestly the people I didn't really even recognize. And me and Kaylin were looking at each other and we're just like, fuck it, we roll with the punches. Let's do this shit. So we go outside, we're walking around Orlando, and Trick walks very fast, and I almost fell on myself a couple times that you don't see. But it was really, really awesome to see all of these superstars under one roof. And this felt like a movie moment to me, and it's one of the shoots that I look back on very fondly. I remember it being a pretty long day. We were walking all around Orlando, and me and Kaylin had to split up into two-man operations as I was watching over the studio, and he went out and got more footage of them in a garage, and everything came out great. Kaylin did an amazing job editing it together. It was well received, soft flex. It was on Forbes, and there were Reddit posts about it, and God damn, it really felt like lightning in a bottle that day. Kaylin really did a good fucking job. And I was really happy to be a part of it. I think one of my key takeaways, especially with all of those wrestlers and what wrestling has meant to me over the years, that was kind of my one of the stepping stones to be like, I can produce content. I can assist with productions of this level. And it was a big boost to my confidence. It's something that I really love talking about, and it was a lot of fun. So shout out to Trick Willie, Dr. Kaylin Williams, PhD, Lash Legends, and all of the team involved with that. It was really fucking dope. I'm going to keep this last example really brief just because I can feel myself starting to lose my voice. But another really, really good shoot was actually the one I as of this recording, recently posted on my Instagram regarding Zachary Gordon, or Zach Gordon, who plays Greg Heffley in the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. This actually came about because one of my friends that I had shot with had sent me a story where he posted, hey, Orlando photographers and videographers, we're looking for people to help with my show that's going to be at the Hard Rock. And she was like, oh, you should totally do this. And I thought, fuck yeah, let's do this. So I just randomly sent an email. A couple hours later, they're like, yeah, pull up. And it was the most like spontaneous, one of the most spontaneous things I've ever done for a shoot. I pull up, camera gear in hand. I had 2 cameras. I was dual wielding that day. And we get in, and parking at the Hard Rock is like $60. So I was a little skeptical about that. I was hoping I didn't have to fucking pay that. But I talked to his manager. She gave me 2 pass cards to park for 2 different days, even though the event was only for an evening. So I don't know where that pass card is, but if I have business at the Hard Rock, I do have free parking. I didn't really know that he dabbled in music or sang or played guitar or anything like that. So it was really cool. I remember watching the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies as a kid, and I think it's the second one, Roderick Rules, where that montage of Rowley, Greg, and Roderick partying with all of Roderick's classmates. I remember specifically seeing that and thinking, God, I wish my life was like that. After Zach's concert, he was taking pictures with fans, and then I stuck around afterwards when all the fans were done taking photos with him, and he just started to chat with me. I was talking to his parents, and they were really cool. All of them were really really gracious, and his manager was really cool. Everything was just really well put together that day, and I actually ran into someone I knew during that shoot who saw the same inquiry, so that was really funny. But again, similar to the Trick Williams situation, it showed me that I am able to produce content for people of this notoriety. Well, I'll say notoriety. Notoriety and fame, I guess I'll say. So those were the 2 shoots that really stick out in my mind that I love sharing with people, and it just built a lot of confidence in me. And now, taking everything from the good and the bad and the cringe and the fucked up, this is how I overcame the imposter syndrome. Now, whenever I think about all the crazy things, and I'm gonna look at my phone for this. Whenever I think of all the crazy shit that I've been a part of, I would always think, what am I doing here? I'm just Chris Atertua, some dumb fuck from the middle of nowhere in Florida. And slowly over time, as I got more comfortable behind the camera, as I got more comfortable talking to people, as I got out of my shell and I just stopped giving a fuck what people thought, and I started to pursue things that I genuinely wanted to accomplish. I surrounded myself with caring, empathetic, hardworking people who constantly cheered me on. And over time, I was able to tell myself, Chris, you got this. I remember I would get so nervous when someone reached out for a shoot. I would start spinning and thinking, oh, fuck, what if this goes wrong? Oh, fuck, what if this happens? But I've gotten to a point now where if anything goes wrong, I am confident in my adaptability. So as long as you just have a good foundation, a good work ethic, as long as you surround yourself with like-minded creatives, if you give yourself up to the uncomfortable and adapt, be okay with failing, be okay with fucking up. There were so many fucking cringe times during photo shoots and productions that I got over. And now I can confidently sit here and put on a podcast and talk to you guys, even though in the beginning I was nervous as fuck. So these were just a couple of stories, the good, the bad, the key takeaways from those. I really appreciate if you actually listen to this shit. If you are one of the 10 subscribers on YouTube, thank you so much. I just want to give a quick shout out to just the pillars in my creative community. Ashley Cuttrub, Kaylin Williams, Raf Localiano. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, Raf. Sav Cuttrub, the twins, everyone in the twins group, all the people that have reached out during the crazy collab month back in April. That was hectic but fun. Every client that I've worked with, just thank you so much for trusting me with your work, for cheering me on. And let me see if I missed anyone. Peter. I can't forget Peter. My dogs, Jack and Kilo, even though I call Kilo Gilbert. My family for supporting me during this sort of transition period when I left labs. And I don't want to say like, comment, subscribe. I honestly don't know when I will be back to record the next episode. I mean, you fucking saw it. I left to get cigarettes for months. But this was a lot of fun. And I hope you have enjoyed listening to me talk and sound like a fucking mammoth for the last 30 minutes. So thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast episode. This has been another episode of Banana. See you later, guys.